This is the Edmund Zich Stadium, once the heart of Poznan's sporting life. Now it's a crumbling monument to a time long forgotten. Designed by architect Sylwester Paderewski, the stadium was once built to coincide with the Comprehensive National Exhibition of 1929, a grand event intended to showcase Poland's economic and cultural achievements. Named after Edmund Zich, one of the founders of Warta Poznan, the stadium was to become the home of Polish football, a place where the local team, Warta Poznan, and on occasion, city rivals, Lech Poznan, would create new sporting legends. On August 28, 1929, the stadium opened to great excitement. President Moskiewicz himself attended the inauguration, along with thousands of eager spectators. It was a day meant to mark the beginning of a new era for Poznan, where sport, community, and national pride would converge. But the joy of the day quickly turned to disaster. Within hours of its opening, the stadium's grandstands began to buckle under the weight of the massive crowd. The structure, designed to hold tens of thousands, showed dangerous flaws, and an emergency evacuation was ordered. The event was abruptly cut short, and the stadium was declared unsafe. For almost a decade, the stadium remained unused. The dream of a thriving sports hub for the city had crumbled, quite literally, before it even began. But this was not the end of the stadium's story. A far darker chapter was about to unfold. In 1939, war descended on Poland. When the Nazis occupied Poznan, they seized the stadium and transformed it from a place of celebration into one of horror. Between 1941 and 1943, the stadium became a forced labor camp for the city's Jewish population. Thousands of Jewish men, women, and children were held in the stadium under brutal conditions. Those who attempted to escape were executed publicly. After the war ended in 1945, Poznan, like much of Poland, set about rebuilding itself from the ashes of conflict. By 1957, the stadium had been restored and expanded. This time the structure was reinforced, making it larger and more durable than its ill-fated predecessor. Once again, the stadium opened its doors to football fans, and Warta Poznan reclaimed its home. For some time, the stadium became the pride of the city once again. In 1972, a record-breaking crowd of 60,000 people packed into the stands to witness a match between Lech Poznan and Suisa Bydgoszcz. It was the largest ever attendance at a second-tier football match in Europe, a testament to the stadium's significance in Polish football. Over the years, the stadium underwent several modernizations. In 1974, ahead of the Central Harvest Festival, a new Western grandstand was built, with rooms for the press and officials. The capacity was further expanded, and it seemed as though the stadium was firmly back on the map as a central hub for sports and entertainment in Poznan. Yet, as the decades wore on, cracks, both literally and metaphorically, began to reappear. Financial struggles plagued the stadium's main tenant, Warta Poznan, and the rise of rival clubs drew fans away. By the late 1980s, the stadium's future once again hung in the balance, this time from neglect rather than poor design. In the 1980s, the stadium's fortunes shifted. Financial hardships began to take their toll, and the once beloved home of Warta Poznan became a forgotten relic of the city's sporting history. As the economic downturn of the 1980s hit Poland hard, the stadium, already showing signs of wear, suffered even further. Maintenance became virtually non-existent, and the echoes of cheering crowds gave way to the silence of decay. What was once a centerpiece of Poznan's cultural life became a symbol of neglect. The empty stands, once filled with tens of thousands of fans, now stood abandoned, a husk of its former self. Hey guys, quick announcement. I have launched my Patreon. The link is in the bio. If you want to support the channel, please sign up for the Patreon today. I post exclusive footage there, behind the scenes, some extended walkthroughs, all types of perks. Please check it out. Thank you. By the late 1980s, the stadium was completely abandoned. The once meticulously maintained pitch had turned into a wasteland, overrun with weeds and shrubs. The wooden seating, rotting from years of exposure, gave way to nature's advance. Slowly, the grandstands were swallowed by the environment, concrete crumbling as trees pushed through the cracks. The stadium, once a symbol of hope, pride, and unity, now stands as a monument to the passage of time, a forgotten relic slowly being swallowed by nature.